Can I be honest with you? Working out has become too complicated. So, as a personal trainer, why would I say that? And it's because everywhere you look, there's some, new study on this protocol versus that protocol, or this workout method versus that workout method, or this nutrition method versus that nutrition method. And for a lot of people, it's just kind of overwhelming of like, which one of these should I follow? Which one is the best? Uh, and unless you're trying to be a world-class athlete, it doesn't really matter which one is the best. Because a lot of times the stress over trying to figure out what's going to be the best has more of a negative consequences of the like very marginal gains between this versus that program, or this methodology versus that methodology. So I just want to let people know that you don't have to be an expert. You don't need to have an expert, at your disposal to be able to work out and feel good in your body. So for me, I think one of the things that gets missed in all this, and, again, a lot of times these experts will talk about, this is the program, you kind of like follow this template, and then over time you're going to get, bigger, stronger, faster, lose weight, whatever. And to me, and for a lot of people, one of the biggest benefits of working out is you get to know your body. You get to know how your body feels when you move a certain way. You get to know how your body feels when you work at this level versus this level versus this level. And, for me, it's just a very good way to kind of check in and make sure that I know how my body's doing, and whether that's, working out in the weight room or out on the trails, running or biking or hiking or snowboarding or whatever I'm doing. I think the awareness that can come along with being physical and being active is one of the best benefits, or the biggest benefits that people can gain from working out or being active. And I think the next thing that kind of piggybacks on that is we have this idea of like what exercise is or what working out is. And if you can remember back to when you were a kid, or if you have kids and you kind of see them, and how they develop physically, how do they develop? They don't, follow a workout plan, but somehow they're still able to go from, not being able to move, to being able to roll over, to being able to sit up, to be able to crawl, to be able to walk and then run, to be able to, play with balls and climb and hang. And they don't really, follow some, predetermined plan. They play. And I think a lot of times we forget that play is better than exercise. And when I say that play is exercise, but our idea of exercise tends to be like, okay, I'm going to go spend 30 minutes on the elliptical or treadmill or bike, and then I've got to strength train for 45 minutes, or I've got to go for, a 5-mile run or whatever it is. It's very kind of goal oriented, or there's these kind of parameters we put in place around like exercise, whereas play, there's a little bit less of that. So whether that's you're playing a sport, maybe you're playing soccer, even like playing golf. People like to kind of say like, oh, golf isn't whatever, but from my perspective and looking at kind of the demands that golf puts on people, golf is kind of a strength sport. You're having to rotate, and then when you swing a golf club, like that's a strength movement. So no matter what it is, you could be playing ping pong, and if you're playing ping pong and you're halfway, like you can rally back and forth and you get going with some friends or whatever, like your heart rate's going to get up. It's going to challenge you in ways that moving in a gym a lot of times won't challenge you. You know, it's going to challenge your hand-eye coordination a little bit better, your timing, you know, those sorts of things that are, as we get older, kind of just as important as, you know, maintaining strength. So yeah, a lot of times what makes headlines is these studies around, you know, strength and, you know, that the stronger you are, the longer you're going to live, or decreases your all-cause mortality rate. So people like kind of like latch onto these studies that kind of look at the big broad picture, which are great, and if that helps motivate people to get moving, that's great. But I think we kind of lose sight of the fact that for the individual, it doesn't have to be regimented. You know, if you're getting out and moving and playing with your kids for, you know, 30, 45 minutes after work and on the weekends, and you're rolling around and wrestling with them, like that's exercise. You're playing, but you're moving your body in different ways. You're placing demands on your muscles, bones, joints, tendons, ligaments, all that sort of stuff to you know, move your bodies in different ways, as opposed to just, you know, sitting in the car or sitting at your desk. So I think I just want people to have a little bit more freedom, and less kind of judgment around their working out, or, you know, maybe feeling like they should be doing more. And maybe if they just like kind of examine their life and what their life looks like, maybe they'll realize that they are actually moving more. And if they're not realizing that, you know, it doesn't have to look like 45 minutes in the gym 3 days a week. You know, I think there's a need for some strength exercises, but that doesn't have to be your primary way of moving your body, or getting exercise and getting that kind of physical stimulus. So that's part of the reason that I wanted to kind of start this channel and really start providing a little more kind of real world resources to people that will hopefully allow them, you know, to fit movement and physical activity, not just gym exercise, into their life. So I think, you know, if you have any questions about this, or you want me to make a video about something specific that I touched on in this, just let me know in the comments, and we'll see you next time.